Welcome to Beyond the Games, your daily insight into Guernsey 2023. Proudly sponsored by SG Kleinwort Hambros Bank Limited, Guernsey branch and Jersey branch.
Guernsey's men face a tough draw in the football. Manager Tony Vance tells Express how they are preparing for the challenges they will face both on and off the pitch. Thanks for coming in.
No worries.
Today. It's great. Just take me through. First up, why take on the role again?
I ask myself that every morning. I think. No, I mean, I don't want this to sound like I didn't want to do it, because that's not the case. If basically, this should be, is going to be one of the best experiences for Guernsey footballer and Guernsey sport, to have an Island Games. Home Island Games and be part of it. I was fortunate enough in 2003 to be sort of player and coach in a sort of a dual role, if you like, and it was phenomenal. Probably the best experience I've ever had. Obviously we won gold, and it was just a pretty unique week, to be honest, with everything going on. So probably winning the gold medal maybe sort of taints that a little bit, and it sort of looks like that's why it was the best experience. But I can just remember the opening ceremony was just incredible, absolutely incredible, and it just set the scene for what was going to be an amazing week for Guernsey. Not only sport, but just all the people around, the vibe, everything about it, and it's fantastic. And so here we are, we've got another opportunity now. Obviously, I'm very proud, as I said, to be part of it and to do my best for the team. But it wasn't something that I'd sort of planned, if you like, and obviously after a long season of Guernsey FC, where people won't really appreciate what sort of pressure, what sort of strain it gives on your life, because it's not a job, it's just I've got my other job, so you need that break, and as I say, that this summer was going to be my break, and then ready to recharge and go again. But obviously we haven't had that opportunity. We had the Marathi as well, which we stepped in it and tried to help, but obviously we didn't get the result we needed. But at the end of the day, there wasn't anybody sort of jumping out to do it, which is a real shame, to be honest, and it needs to be addressed, because not only do we need to breed sort of players and have a pathway for players coming through as youngsters, we've got to do the same for coaches, and they've got to be given the experience, and they've got to also go and want to do it, and that's the key. There aren't people that jumping out there trying to push themselves, unfortunately, anymore, and that's general consensus of opinion really is that's the situation. So as I said, we've got the experience, so we're going to give it a good go.
And different demands as well from the sort of normal week in, week out of football. So how do you cope with that sort of tournament setup? As a player and coach, I should say.
So it is unique. I've been involved in, I don't even know how many Island Games now, quite a few. And it sounds ridiculous. You can have all the ability in the world, you can have all the skill levels in the world, you can have all the tactics in the world, but the football in particular is so demanding in terms of the programme, and the one thing that will get you through is fitness and that mental sort of desire, if you like, that mentality and physicality to be able to cope with the schedule, because we've got, I think we play Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and ultimately it's tournament football. You have to win every game, and that's just to qualify, and if you don't, you're out. So the pressure is on as well, and that's where the mentality, the physicality comes in, because you can have the ability, but sometimes you need to sort of get the mindset to be able to go through a brick wall or run when your body's telling you're tired, and that might be the winning goal or the goal that sort of gets you out your group. So it is unique, and as I say, luckily we've been involved before, so we know what it takes. Some of the stuff we do is just probably not in the coaching manual, to be honest, in terms of trying to take people out of their comfort zones, and it's sort of well documented now, some of the things that it's sort of people who've spoken to other people who've been in the Island Games. You know, they've heard about e-car steps, for example, and you know, we're taking them into places which won't win you a football match, but it will allow you to compete and as I said, get you that mindset to maybe get over the white line. And
I guess that team spirit's so important, isn't it? When you see your teammates putting themselves on the line as well.
Yeah, 100%. You know, we're creating a competitive environment. You have to, because you haven't got any games to play, because obviously season's finished. So it's all about, you know, trying to create a competitive edge within the group, but also that team spirit to try and carry your mate over the line. And that's ultimately what we've been doing over the last 6-7 weeks. You know, obviously we lost Marathi, and that was we weren't fit enough, we weren't strong enough. Jersey were in a much better position than us in all aspects, and that frustrated me. And you know, I think that's our starting point straight away. Was we lost to Jersey, they were better than us, so we've got a lot of work to do, and that's what we've been trying to do with the group, and I think they're getting there now. You know, they're starting to understand it. You know, there's a little bit of a lull after the Marathi, where we had to keep trying to pick them up and try to get them into that mentality, because a lot of them haven't done an Island Games before. It's new to them. And obviously we've got to appreciate that they've had a long season with GFC, 40 games a year, which is, you know, incredibly demanding. So you had to get that balance right. You couldn't just go in there and start running marathons with them and expect them to deliver. They needed a little bit of a break, a little bit of a reset. But now we're on the right lines now.
Do you feel there's going to be a knock-on into next season as well, like just extending this season so much?
Yeah, and it could be detrimental. You know, I think again, I can speak from experience because I played. I remember winning the medal, the gold medal, any Island Games really. By the end of it, you're shot, you're gone, and your body's broken. So, yeah, but you're actually the fittest you've ever been. But so it's getting that balance right to try and repair your body and then go again. We've never, I haven't, as a playing point of view, never got an opportunity to play like during Guernsey FC, so it was just going back to local football. So that was comfortable, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I'm slightly concerned about the players, you know, in terms of, you know, they've been going since sort of June last year, and then we're putting them to the maximum now, and then Guernsey, as soon as it finishes, Guernsey FC starts, and you know, I think they're going to need a break. How we balance it, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I think.
Sure thing. And how can we expect Guernsey to set up during the games? Is that?
Well, the one thing about Island Games, you've got to be brave, because, and that's in terms of selection. You've got to use your squad. You need the X Factor players to turn up. You need the X Factor players to be at the fittest, because they're the ones that are, you know, going to be the difference between you coming out of the group, getting a medal or whatever. So, but you have to be sort of, you know, as I said, brave in some of the decisions you make, and when you rest people, when you rotate, because obviously it's, you know, it's crucial you use the group, absolutely crucial. But you know, you don't want to do wholesale changes because it can be really detrimental. What will make it worse this year, and this is where I'm going to be trying to explain to the players, is that, so like in the Marathi, for example, a home Marathi, you've got 3,000 people who've got an opinion. So when you lose, you should have done this, should have done that. The shoulda, coulda, wouldas brigade come out. Now we're going to get that every game. So, you know, if Muggins here decides to change the team for the second game, for example, it doesn't work, we're in trouble. I'm in trouble. So you've got to be brave in some of your decisions, but you've got to trust your instincts, and that's the one thing I sort of have always learned in coaching is trust your instincts. So hopefully that will be enough.
I guess there's much more noise around the game now than there was in 2003, say, like just with social media, just with like the profile it's got. Does that make it tough as well?
It doesn't affect me. It actually inspires me, to be honest, because ultimately the people who do have an opinion are generally the ones that sit on their armchair and will never ever come out and try and make a difference. So they think they're doing the right thing, but you know, ultimately the right thing is to go on and go and take a training session, go and pick the team. So and we're talking minority, but you're absolutely right. Social media is giving everyone an opinion now. It gives everyone an opportunity, and quite often those people have got a strange name handle that they've created, so that tells it all. If they're not prepared to put their name to it, then they certainly wouldn't look you in the eye and tell you that you've done wrong or you've done this and you haven't done that and blah blah blah. So no, they entertain me, but they inspire me. But it's a tough world, isn't it? With the social media, because ultimately, as I say, the people I've got the most respect for are the ones that actually go out there and try and do something. Well, no one's perfect. Everyone's going to make a mistake, but it's how you respond.
And just final words on the games as well. What's your target?
Well, it has to be gold medal. There is a few problems to contain, to sort of to deliver that, and that is we've got to get out of our group, which is quite a tough group, to be honest. And when the Bulls that came out the sort of the group bag, if you like, didn't give us the easiest group. But what you have to do is build momentum in a tournament. So number one priority is to win the first game. Then it's really simple. Then win the second. Blah blah blah. But I think I haven't looked too far ahead. But someone said we've got Jersey in the semi-final. If they win their group, we win our group. That'll be an interesting game, particularly after the Marathi. So we haven't got an easy path, that's for sure. But I think ultimately, if we can get it right and we can get the crowd on our side, and obviously we need to put a few wrongs right, then we'll see. But one thing for sure is that we're preparing the players to be in the best possible shape and position they can, and then hopefully they'll deliver.
Beyond the Games, proudly sponsored by SG Kleinwort Hambros Bank Limited, Guernsey branch and Jersey branch.